watching coverage of an earthquake that is currently shaking the very foundations of the Balkan nation of Albania, and frankly, the entire global political order. For days now, this isn't just a protest, it is a full blown national insurrection. What began as local anger over the theft of pristine coastal land by the American political elite, specifically Jared Kushner, the son in law of former President Donald Trump and his wife Ivanka Trump, has exploded into a massive conflagration targeting Western interests and, most notably, the Zionist entity. When we say chaos, we mean it literally. Protesters have set vessels linked to settler colonial interests ablaze in Albanian ports. The fires didn't stop at the docks. The flames have reached the doorstep, and reportedly, the very home, of Prime Minister Edi Rama, the man who signed away the nation's sovereignty to these foreign predators. We are watching the streets of Tirana turn into a war zone, not just against a corrupt government, but against the creeping tentacles of American Zionist colonialism. This is the story of how the Albanian people, refusing to become a vassal state, have decided to fight back against a $4 billion land grab that threatens to turn their natural heritage into a gated fortress for the global elite. We are going to break down exactly how this revolt spilled over to target every...
Shalom. Call Yahweh Shemil, Shabbat Shem Kakadash, the Olam Shid, the elder apostles and the elder bishops, the great millstone, even the elders that came before them, the talks is true. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers all pushing the word in truth and in sincerity, the hopeful light of David. I'm the elder Yahshua. I'm back with the World War III Daily Update. And we're going to discuss the land grab, which is what war is about. Why do people fight wars? To go steal some land that doesn't belong to them. What happened in Iraq? After the Iraq War, the biggest U.S. bases outside of the U.S. were where? On the land that they just stole, Iraq. What was it on? Stand now. Isaiah 47:11. Did I learn this yet? After I don't know how many years? 47:11. Nope. Where's stand now? Take your stand right here. 12. That's lucky. Having a little fun. I pulled this earlier today, so I better remember. Okay. Isaiah 47:12. This isn't what I want. I want stand now. Nope, not stand now. I want covet. Micah 2 and 2. Micah 2 and 2. They covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. What are they doing here? They coveted this land and they went in to take it by force.
Israeli. Why the flag of Kosovo?
And let me say this. What else is this doing? Who's at the helm of this? Look at your boy, Netanyahu. This is another version of the least of the flock drawing them out into this war. Watch.
Has become a symbol of defiance against Brussels and how the iron fist of the Albanian state, through its Special Prosecution Office SPEI, has finally struck back by freezing the war chest of these would-be colonizers.
The war chest, listen to the word war be thrown around, because this is about war.
Do not go anywhere because this report is exhaustive, it is detailed, and it pulls no punches. If you are watching this on YouTube or any platform, do me a favor right now. Hit that like button, share this video with every person who needs to know the truth about how the West steals land from developing nations.
How the West does what? Covet fields and seize them. How they steal land. They desire fields and seize them in houses. They covet fields and take them. You see a piece of land, you find a way to steal it. piece of land. Okay. Cover. I'm sure we'll find the word steal. Seize, seize. Take, take, seize. Come on. Seize. Little C's. Yep. How about steal? They didn't want to put that in there. They didn't know it's talking about taken violently. They know it's talking about Esau's ass. Seize, seize, seize. Taken violently. Took by force. That's the steal. Take away. Take them away. Seize them by force. Take them by force. Plundered orphans. Anyway, they're stealing land. That's what they do. Take it.
Even if it is just a dot. Something to push this story past the algorithm that tries to bury the voices of the global South.
This is a huge story.
Subscribe to this channel to support
Fair use.
honest,
Fair
fearless
use.
journalism. Now, let's get into the brutality of what is happening in Albania. The immediate trigger, the lightning rod for all this.
Let me get one real quick. This is a civil war. A family. This is Edomite family. Civil war. What? I said civil war. Slovakia. My Bible Hub isn't working because they have it rigged not to do what it's supposed to do. It's real simple. Civil war. Civil war. KJV. Something's wrong with Bible Hub, yeah? This is stupid. Slovakia, let me see this. It's working on here. Matthew 12 and 25. Is that in here? No. 24 and 6. Slovakia, bear with me. Matthew 12:25. Here's the phrase civil war. Where is it? Civil war. Okay. Any kingdom, any family divided. So this is a kingdom. What kingdom? The kingdom of Edomites. Motherfucker, you don't see Bibi Netanyahu. He's Amalek. He's the chief house of the Dukes of Edom. Matthew 12 and 25 in the NLT. Yahushua knew their thoughts and replied, any kingdom divided by civil war is doomed. A town, or family splintered by feuding will fall apart. This is a family, right? These people are all Edomites.
Now, let's get into the brutality of what is happening in Albania. The immediate trigger, the lightning rod for all this rage, is the Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump backed monstrosity of a development project. Listen to this carefully because the arrogance here is staggering. This couple, swimming off a friend's yacht like the entitled colonialists they are, claimed they discovered this untouched wilderness, specifically the island of Sazan and the protected Vijosanarta coastal wetlands. Ivanka Trump went on a podcast and bragged about how they saw this land, walked barefoot on it.
When you see a piece of land, right? Let's go back there real quick. Salaki, bear with me. This is very important. This is what we see. People, won't put that together. I'm not talking about when you want a piece of land, you find a way to seize it. They desire fields and seize them. People are mad about that. They're ready to burn shit up. Okay? When you want a piece of land, and they lust for fields and houses, and they take them by force. This is the best one. When you want a piece of land, you find a way to seize it. That's what they're talking about.
And just had to realize its potential. Realize its potential.
The difference is it's not black folks' land that they're taking. Oh, we go to Africa, we're going to take the southern tip and call it South Africa. It belongs to us now. Now you're doing it to your own.
That means bulldozing a crucial habitat for flamingos and Mediterranean monk seals to build a €4 billion luxury resort with 10,000 hotel rooms. This is Christopher Columbus syndrome at its most disgusting.
Whoa.
Land that has belonged to Albanians for centuries.
Somebody wanted it and went to go steal it.
They claim to have discovered.
Well, turns out that Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner aren't just buying a private island to build a luxury resort. Sazan Island is Albania's largest island and is strategically located, once an isolated, top-secret, Cold War military base featuring thousands of bunkers and miles of tunnels. Now, why in the world would our United States Special Envoy for Peace missions need an island with all of that? So when Ivanka said this,
the opportunity to help realize its potential and transform it, but with a lot of restraint and care, because the land is so beautiful that really the architecture has to be fully integrated into it, almost rise from it.
That's such a sweet story about preserving the beautiful land and the nature and building the architecture around that. But I wonder if you're building the architecture around something else. It's important to note that the Albanian people are not happy about this, and they're protesting in the thousands, and they're also demanding that the prime minister resign for allowing such a corrupt deal to go through. But again, I'm sure this purchase is just to build a big, beautiful luxury resort, not a personal bunker on an island. As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
But the Albanian people aren't stupid. They saw the corruption for what it was. On June 2nd, just days ago, the Albanian prime minister confirmed to Politico that talks were ongoing with Kushner over the deal. And that same day, the parliament approved legislation altering the protected status of these lands. The public exploded. Within hours, protesters were not just holding signs saying, "Ivanka, go home." They were physically fighting police. And here is where the narrative takes a critical turn. The anger against these American exploiters was immediately intertwined with anger against the Zionist state. Even Prime Minister Rama turned combative when...
Can you see World War III? World War III is happening within these people. The Most High is stirring these people up. Got them fighting each other, and it's going to spill over into the battlefield.
CNN was trying to probe corruptions tied to how the projects was
Jared Kushner is involved at the highest degree in World War III. He's going around acting as some sort of negotiator for a war, for wars, for people bombing each other. He's the one sent in to have talks and negotiations as far as ceasefires and which way to move forward between two warring factions. You can't tell me that this isn't about war. Okay? Who is Jared Kushner? What is his role right now? Jared Kushner's father-in-law is the commander-in-chief of the WACs. Okay? He is the commander-in-chief. You tell me that this isn't about military and war. Kushner is the negotiator for war. Okay? In the police department, they have a specially trained officer who talks motherfuckers down off of a ledge, right? They send him, get the ledge guy. We got a jumper. So he'll go talk the guy off of a ledge, right? Well, in the military, they have a negotiator. His one job is to go and work out a deal to bring a ceasefire or some kind of deal that everybody agrees on. That's his job. His job isn't to go like a tunnel rat, to take his weapon and go down, and go do what you got to do down in the tunnel. That's not his job. His job is completely different. His job isn't 81 Bravo, which I don't know what the fuck that is, but let's say it's a truck driver. All right. Well, Kushner's role as a negotiator puts him right up there with number one, right? Who flies on Marine One? The commander in chief. This is about This is about war. Okay, what are they setting up? They have remained in their holds. What is a hold? A barracks or a bunker. They're trying to build a bunker. Why? Because they're at war and they know it.
And they have to pay respect. So the project is not yet there. The environmental impact is being worked. You understand? And let me finish.
Go ahead.
Let me finish. What is this? What's wrong with
go
you?
ahead.
Let me finish.
There's no need to be disrespectful. I'm asking you, go ahead, Prime Minister. Finish your thought.
You please let me finish, because you brought political and you said there is anti-corruption.
Go ahead. I'm letting you finish.
It's fake news. It is an investigation about one of the landowners. It's private land. One of the landowners that has sold the property, which is bought through very transparent bank transactions. And the investigation is about that. It's not about the investment. It's not about the project. It's not about Kushner. It's not about Trump. It's not about anything that is being brought in this melting pot to create a sensational fake news that Albania is a place where we are killing flamingos. No, Albania is a place where today, now, as we speak, in this room, on the other side, listen to me. On the other side, there are some hundred of top architects in the world. Why? Because we are presenting today this book. This book, Think Like That, is full of projects of the new Albania that many others don't want to see coming. And we are not here to destroy the country. We are here to make Albania.
The Most High is destroying the country. Got these families fighting, right? They set this brother's house on fire.
Thank you for clarifying that, Prime Minister. Thank you for clarifying that. I think that is important. Thank you for clarifying that. And it's important that we hear from you. As soon as the project gets the green light, of course, you come.
Why the anger? Because the connection is obvious to anyone not blinded by MAGA propaganda. The protesters see the United States and the Zionist entity as a single predatory machine. Reports from the ground indicate that when the flames spread, they specifically targeted assets perceived to to belong to settlers. The rage against land theft immediately mutated into a rage against Israel. This is the new reality. To the Albanian street, the Zionist investor and the American oligarch are indistinguishable enemies. A commentator even made things clearer. Take a listen.
I'm going to Albania this summer. What's going on in Albania gives the rest of the world hope, and more importantly, solutions to nations and people who feel like they live under the foot of Zionist influence or Zionist domination. And the solution the Albanians are offering us are very simple. You don't need to become doctors, lawyers. You don't need to lobby anyone. You don't need money. You don't need violence. You simply need to say no and get down to the street and march and demand that your corrupt politicians, who are nothing but servants and slaves to Zionist interests, to resign. It's as simple.
Sure. They've been marching for years, buddy. Sorry.
Simple as that. And sometimes in the States, you can feel helpless. You say they own academia, they own the media, they own finance. Okay, yeah, no problem. But guess what? There's 300 million of us. And how many Jared Kushners and Ivankas do you think there are that make up the billionaire Zionist Epstein class? 10, 20, 100? The thing they fear more than anything is us being united. If less than 1% of the American population went on the street, that'd be over 1 million people. There's over 300 million Americans. If 1 million went on the street, that's 0.3% of the entire American population. And we can demand these politicians stop being corrupted by Zionist interests and stop dragging the American military into foreign wars to serve Israel. And if you can finally tell Jared and Ivanka, listen, we're not your peasants, we're not your slaves, we're not your cattle, for you to simply do with us as you please and move.
See, the Civil War, they're going to eat themselves.
Around wherever you'd like. It's amazing the way she described this island. Like it was a philosophical, mystical experience that somehow landed with her owning an entire island where she wants to build a huge mansion with 5 miles of beach property. That's an interesting. I've never heard of spirituality with that level of materialism. With that said, how nice will it feel to finally deny them something they want, and for us to get something we want? Just the idea of that is euphoric. To finally see Ivanka Trump hearing the words no for the first time in her life. For someone from the Epstein class and the Epstein regime to be denied something that they want. We're denied things all the time. Imagine how beautiful it'd be for 1 million Americans to be marching on the street, demanding to take their country back.
But the symbolism goes deeper than just protesting. There is a massive societal rupture happening here that involves the European Union. As this revolt intensifies, observers have noted a fascinating and terrifying detail for Western elites. The protesters are abandoning the European Union flag.
Anger on Albania's Adriatic coast, after developers erected barbed wire fences at the site of a proposed luxury resort linked to the US president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner.
We are here today because we want to go to our lands.
Protests have also been held in the capital Tirana, where demonstrators marched under the slogan, "Albania is not for sale." Critics accuse the government of opening protected coastal areas to large-scale development projects. Specifically this one, worth $1.6 billion, led by Kushner's investment firm Affinity Partners. It would see Sazan Island and part of the nearby reserve transformed into a tourism destination. Developers say they will progress responsibly, but environmental groups argue it threatens one of Albania's most sensitive ecosystems.
In this stretch of kilometers of land, of wildlife habitat, plan to build a new city. It's declared 10,000 rooms, and what we hear now it's even more. So there we won't have any more the protected area. The delta of Vjosa is completely being destroyed.
Critics say comments by Ivanka Trump have fueled their anger. In an interview on social media, she said she and her husband discovered the island.
We were on a friend's boat and we stopped for a swim. Effectively, that's how we found it. We swam to the islands, we went on a hike, barefoot all the way up to the top, and we were just captivated.
Kushner announced plans to build the resort in 2024 as part of a wider regional investment that included a former army headquarters in Belgrade. Last year, he dropped the Serbia project following protests against it. But Albania's prime minister insists the project will go ahead despite public anger.
There is no chance that this investment will stop as long as I am here, and in the meantime, I am absolutely open, as I have been on other occasions, to discussing it with anyone who has concerns.
Protesters have rejected calls for talks with the government, saying more demonstrations are now planned. Cara Legg, Al Jazeera.
But the Albanian people are not fools. They are backed by a powerful institutional force, the Special Prosecution Office Against Corruption and Organized Crime, known as SPEI. On Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026, SPEI prosecutor Altin Dumani signed an order freezing the bank accounts of Albania Land Development, the holding company tied to Kushner's affinity partners. This was a nuclear option. The investigation revealed that property titles had been allegedly forged years ago to clear the path for these investors. The accounts held millions. Some reports suggest nearly $200 million in capital meant to start construction. SPEI has essentially put a chokehold on the invasion. For now, the money is stuck. The bulldozers are idle. But make no mistake, this is a war. If the Kushners with...
But make no mistake, what?
Mistake, this is a... For now, the money is stuck. The bulldozers are idle. But make no mistake, this is a war.
Yeah,
if the Kushners withdraw, as they did under similar pressure in Serbia, the threat remains that another front will open. But these predatory land grabs are not isolated to Albania. We have to look at the neighbor across the water, Cyprus, to see the blueprint of Zionist expansion. Just weeks ago, in May, a massive debate erupted on the island of Cyprus. An Israeli entrepreneur reportedly purchased approximately 70 to 80% of the abandoned village of Trozena in the Limassol district. The settler colonial forces are buying up entire villages. They are turning them into gated agritourism resorts. Cypriots watched in horror as social media exploded, with claims that these areas were becoming settlements in all but name. Even a Cypriot MEP went viral, stating that Israel is buying Cyprus, altering the very character of the island. This is the exact same playbook as in Albania. Swoop in, buy up distressed or protected land, claim to be revitalizing it, and shut out the native population. The Cypriot trauma of losing territory in 1974 makes this subject particularly explosive. The Albanians see this. They see that if they don't fight now, their coastline will look like Cyprus dominated by foreign flags and closed communities where locals can't afford to walk on the beach.
International intrigue. Second Ezra 9 and 3 in the GMT. There will be earthquakes and national rebellions. They're rebelling against the Prime Minister. International intrigues, unstable leaders, and confused rulers. When you see these things happening, you will know that they are what the Most High Power has spoken about since the beginning of creation. So with that, we pray that the elect are edified. Let the Most High do his thing, Sit back and watch. Be still and know that the Most High is Yahweh. He is. All right? And he's going to do everything he said. We're going to watch these devils get a mud hole stomped. All right? So with that, we pray that the elect